we celebrate Independence Day on the 4th of July, but the vote, you know this, was on July 2nd. And there's a hot debate out there among super historic nerds on whether it's July 2nd or July 4th that we should be celebrating. Which camp are you in?
I'm among the nerds, and I'm in the July 4th camp, and here's why. July 2nd, they voted for independence, but July 4th, they ratified the Declaration. And I don't think declaring independence would have been had near the impact on history that it did if we hadn't also ratified the language that declared to the world why we were doing what we were doing. So obviously it took two things. It could have happened on the same day, just happened to have not. I'm glad we voted for independence, obviously. But the reason July 4th was what John Adams thought we would celebrate, the reason that the Declaration mentions July 4th in its text is that was ratified on July 4th. And I think that's the day we ought to celebrate. We're declared independent. If it had stopped there, there'd been no declaration, I think people would have said, well, that's their dream, that's fine. But the power of the Declaration, studying history and studying social movements as I do, the number of times that the Declaration of Independence has been quoted by people fighting for their freedom. Right now in the Ukraine, you can go on and hear English language podcasts, broadcasts, little bit video clips on Twitter from people in the Ukraine. And what are they quoting? The Declaration of Independence. Wow. And it's powerful language, and this happens over and over and over. And so I've just seen revolutions constantly during the Arab Spring in the Middle East, during revolutions in Russia. People are quoting the Declaration because it's one of the greatest declarations of human freedom and the rights of the individual. And again, it's a creed, and so it's beyond just a declaration for 13 colonies on the coast of North America.
Wow. Well, I'm glad we're celebrating on the right day.
We are. You have my permission. And that's also, by the way, what the Founding Fathers thought would be the day. They saw as July 2 as the preamble, so to speak, to July 4th. And it's funny because John Adams said, oh, there'll be fireworks and there'll be feasting and he mentioned everything but hot dogs and baseball games because he thought July 4th would be the big celebration day.
He was right.
He was right. That's right.
Ahead of his time.
Stick with the 4th.
That's with the 4th. Good. So the signatures on the Declaration of Independence, very important. John Hancock famously signed larger than anyone else right there front and center in the signature section there. What was happening?
Well, he was the president of the Constitutional Convention.
And he wanted everyone to know it, apparently.
And he had no problem everybody knowing it. But picture now, the Declaration, by the way, this didn't happen on July 2nd or July 4th. It happened on August 2nd. So it took a while to print all these documents and then for him to sign the original. So when he was handed the document to sign, it was blank. So he goes with his handwriting, and he wants to be prominent. He even is supposed to have said, well, I'm going to make this big so that King George can see it. Without it. Actually, one version says that he said, I want King George to be able to read this without his glasses. So it's just language.
So he's kind of throwing shade at King George.
He's throwing, yeah, exactly.
As the kids would say.
So the reason his signature is so big is, yeah, he was having a little bit of fun with making it prominent, but he was also the first one to sign it. You know how it is. If you've ever signed a birthday card or anything, and you're the first one, you might go real big, signature, and other people are going, well, hey, I got to go up the side here or go in miniature language over here, and that's why it's that way. But he was having some fun. He was a big personality, and he wanted to declare his patriotism in no uncertain terms. So that's the one we remember. And in fact, I think it's interesting that now if I want your signature, I might say, give me your John Hancock.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's pretty epic that he just coined the phrase for all signatures.
He owns signatures for all times.
Wow. Well, he's not getting royalties from that. I'll tell you that much.